Welcome to day 21 of Diary of a Multi-Faceted Mama. This morning, I am reflecting on several really, really important things. And there's one that I wanted to come in here and talk about this morning. So I woke up and did some things and then sat down to do a meditation, and just a self-guided meditation. And my mind was not wanting to calm in the way that I know it can calm, because I've been doing meditation for many years. And I just noticed, the kind of thoughts that were going through my head. And I was able to touch the calm a couple times. And I noticed kind of my reactions to how I was just treating myself, of not finding the calm and sitting in the calm for as long as I wanted to or hoped to. And so coming out of that meditation, I had questions. And I decided to sit with those questions, tune in to someone that I listen to on YouTube and one of their messages around one of my questions, kind of related, not specific, but related to one of my questions. And that sparked something for me. And so I started writing again. I had written before the meditation. I started writing again now at this point afterwards. And what I was focusing on was the sense of, when you want something, maybe you've wanted it for a long time, or maybe you want it really badly. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's financial success in your business. Maybe it's something different in your interaction with your kids. Maybe it's just feeling better within yourself. Maybe it's a shift in your appearance, your body, whatever it might be. When you want it really bad, right? Or you've just wanted it for a long time, and maybe you feel like you've done everything you can to do it, or maybe you feel like you haven't been able to do everything you can to make it happen. But there's a lot of resistance, a lot of frustration around it all. So that was some of what my questions were around this morning, regarding some of the bigness that I want to present to the world. Some of the personally meaningful movement pieces that I have found to be really, really, really potent and profound and life-changing for myself and those that I serve, that I want to share with the world in a larger way, and know that I am intended to do that, to share that with the world in a larger way. But then also feeling frustrated with kind of the process of how it has or has not been unfolding itself. So that's a little bit of the background of what I was navigating in my thoughts this morning. And what came up as I was doing my reflections and sitting down and tuning in and writing was just bringing me back to what I know to be true, which is the basis of this universe, of this world, of this universe, of this life force that created all of us and everything in it. The basis of that is wellness. It is to create, learn, grow, evolve, experience, and create. Learn, grow, evolve, experience, create. Learn, grow, evolve, experience, create, right? But it's always from this place of wellness. At its very basis, it's from this place of wellness. And that means that current of wellness, that current of well-being, is always there. It's always there, right? The seasons are always going through the seasons of create, grow, whatever needs to die off, dies off. Whatever is rebirth is rebirthed. Same with pregnancy, right? Like create starts with a little seed, little bitty things. They grow. And they need to gestate for a while. Gestation times can vary. There's a big push to birth, and that looks different for everyone too. And there's growth and then recreation as there's growth and experience, because that little one becomes a toddler and then becomes a kid and then becomes a preteen and then becomes a teen and then becomes a young adult and then becomes it, right? And so there's a constant recreation, constant growth, constant opportunity to evolve and grow. But always in the basis of it is this intention of well-being, of wellness. And we can venture away from that. In fact, we will. We can venture away from that current of wellness and well-being because we have to be honest. I mean, that's part of our experiencing. That's part of what invokes our desire to grow and helps us to become innovative of like, oh, there's a gap here. We could create something here because I had this experience and noticed this gap or noticed this challenge or noticed this issue. Now I can refocus on how to help it to grow, to get innovative, right? And so we go into that creation mode all over again. So if we stay stuck on feeling really frustrated, then we can't get back into that current of wellness and well-being while also being really frustrated or really angry or really annoyed or really irritated or whatever the challenging emotion might be. Because they're just not the same. Well-being and wellness, well-thought, well-feeling is just not the same. It's a whole different energy than frustration or irritation or anger or vengeance or all of that stuff, right? And so when we're caught up in that experience of like frustration, when I was caught up in that experience of frustration this morning, it was holding me back. And I knew this, right? But I just needed to be reminded of it in a different way this morning. It holds us back from really being able to go in to that always existing current of wellness, which will sweep us towards whatever the next step is, whenever the next best thought is. So if we're working really, really hard or feeling really, really frustrated, we're actually working against that current of wellness, or at least we're not working within it, right? Like we're not floating with it, going with it. And another part of this that came up for me this morning to reflect on that was really helpful for me was like, of course you want to help be a part of bringing more positivity to the world. Like, of course you want to be a part of helping this world to evolve and grow in a healthy way. Of course you want to bring about a movement that is meaningful and impactful in a helpful, more connected and authentic way. Of course you want that. And also, if the basis of the universe and of the life force that created all of us is grounded in wellness and well-being, don't you think that the God, the universe, like all of that life force has been and always is and always will be also working towards that same thing of more goodness, more well-being, more feel good, more peace, like more of that in the world? If that's its basis, isn't that what it's always working towards creating more and more and more of? And so can you really do the job of God, life force, the universe? Like, can you really just do all of that yourself? No, of course not. And so it just kind of put things in perspective of like, if that current of well-being, of well-thought, of well-feeling, of wellness for all is like always there, then our job, my job this morning and forever is and never was to like make wellness happen or to make well-being happen or to convince or force anyone or anything else to make that happen, but simply for me to practice, for you, if this resonates with you, to practice like how to help myself internally feel more and more well, be more and more well internally. And as I do that, then I'm just able to be a part of that current that's already existing and supported by that current and the motion and the power and the movement of that current, right? Which is very different than feeling like we have to do it all of ourselves or figuring it all out ourselves. Hey, baby. Hi. Good morning. I love you. So these are some of the reflections that I was sitting with this morning, and I feel so much better. I don't have that like heaviness of that frustration because I'm not like pushing against anything. I'm just allowing it. And I know that there's someone somewhere out there that really needs to sit with this message or hear this message or is feeling resonant with this message. So thanks for joining us today. Did you want to say anything? Oh, he's hungry. We're going to go get breakfast. See y'all next time.